right, let's get into it. Today we're going to take a deep dive into a story that has the F1 paddock buzzing.
Yeah, it really has. It's the curious case of Franco Colapinto, Alpine's reserve driver,
Right.
and what his recent activities could really mean for his future with the team.
A good one. So, to be clear, we're working off some great analysis here from soymotor.com.
Yeah, they really broke this down, and they even have a video out about this that is causing a bit of a stir.
Well, then let's jump right in. The big question on everyone's mind is this. Is Alpine secretly grooming Colapinto for a Formula One seat sooner than anybody expects?
I think that is the question, isn't it? That's what we're all trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And to get at that, I think we have to start with the really unusual amount of testing that Colapinto has been doing.
Okay.
It's not common to see a reserve driver getting this much track time.
Right.
Especially when you compare it to how other teams use their reserve drivers.
Yeah, and it's not even just the quantity of the testing, right? It's the context. It's not just some casual shakedown run.
No.
This is Colapinto sharing testing duties
Yeah.
with Jack Doohan in the A523 at Barcelona.
Wow.
Alpine's other reserve driver who, let's be honest, also has his eyes on that F1 seat.
Yeah, I mean, that's fascinating to me that they're both testing the same car on the same track. That's not something you see very often.
Yeah.
It makes you think, is this like a head-to-head comparison? Are they
Right.
trying to see who's better, to make a decision?
It really adds fuel to the fire, too, because they didn't even release any of the official lap times.
Oh, really?
It's like they're being super secretive about it,
Huh.
which honestly just makes people speculate even more.
Well, yeah, of course it does. Like they're trying to hide something,
Right.
which makes everyone wonder even more what's going on.
And while we're talking about fueling speculation,
Yeah.
we can't ignore Alpine's social media strategy.
Right.
They're pushing Colapinto hard, disproportionately hard compared to their main drivers, Gasly and Ocon,
Yeah.
and even Doohan.
And how are they doing that? What are they posting?
Well, SoyMotor.com pointed out that tweets featuring Colapinto are getting over 1 million views.
1 million views.
Yeah, while posts about Gasly and Doohan are averaging 60 to 70,000.
That's a huge difference.
Right. Makes you wonder, are they trying to tap into that Argentinian fan base?
Oh, for sure. They know there's a huge market there, especially with the Spanish-speaking fans. And,
Yeah.
I mean, Colapinto could be their key to, unlocking that market.
Totally. If you have an Argentinian driver
Yeah.
in a car that's actually competitive,
Right.
that could do wonders for their brand,
Yeah.
bring in new sponsors, new fans.
It's a smart strategy if that's what they're doing.
Yeah. But then there's this whole other layer to it, right?
What's that?
Flavio Briatore.
Ah.
He's
Yeah.
known to be close with Colapinto, and he was the one who posted that video of Colapinto's testing session.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. He's not really one to shy away from the spotlight, is he?
Right. And he's a powerful figure in motorsport.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And he's always been very upfront about what he thinks.
He doesn't mince words.
Yeah.
And remember, he recently said that the season would probably start with Gasly and Doohan, but he very clearly left the door open for changes later on.
Interesting. And knowing Flavio, knowing his history,
Yeah.
he wouldn't hesitate to shake things up if he thinks a driver isn't performing well.
Right. Which makes you wonder, where does this leave Doohan?
Yeah, good question. Because there was also that rumor about a performance deadline for him.
Right. So SwayMotor.com mentioned that Doohan has basically 5 or 6 races to prove himself.
5 or 6 races. Wow.
And they said that Miami or Imola could be the decision points.
So you're thinking that Barcelona test was maybe a way for them to directly compare Doohan and Colapinto?
Yeah. Was it their way of seeing, okay, who's really better? Who should we go with?
Right. Yeah.
If there is going to be a mid-season driver swap?
Yeah, it almost reminds me of what McLaren did a few years back.
Oh, yeah.
When they tested Alex Palou and Pato Award
Oh, right.
head-to-head to see who they should bring into F1.
It's like this high-stakes game of musical chairs.
It really is. You never know who's going to be left standing when the music stops.
Exactly.
This whole situation, it really shows just how much Formula One teams have to think about the business side of things.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about who's the fastest driver.
Right.
They have to think about marketing. They have to think about sponsorships.
Yeah.
And Colapinto, he represents a huge opportunity for Alpine in that sense.
Yeah, let's be real for a sec. Formula One is a sport, of course, but it's also a business.
Big time.
And Alpine, they're aiming for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're looking at Colapinto thinking, This guy could make us a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. Argentina, they've got a massive F1 fan base, super passionate, right? And they haven't had like a real homegrown hero in years.
Right.
If Colapinto is in a car that's competitive, that could get them podiums, maybe even a championship.
Yeah.
That would be huge for Alpine's brand.
It would put them on the map for a whole new audience.
Exactly. New sponsors, new fans, especially in Latin America.
It's not just about merchandise sales either.
Oh, no.
It's about those big sponsorship deals expanding into new markets.
You're right.
Colapinto could be the key to all of that.
Totally. I mean, you look at their current driver lineup, Gasly and Ocon.
Yeah, they're good drivers.
Yeah, talented for sure.
Right.
But they don't have that same global appeal that Colapinto has.
But let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
What does this all mean for Jack Doohan?
Yeah, it's tough for him. To be honest, he's a good driver. He's got the pedigree, good results in Formula 2.
Yeah.
But in Formula 1, timing is everything, and...
It might not be on his side right now.
Yeah, if he doesn't have some amazing performances in these next few races, he could be out.
Formula 1 is a tough world.
It is. But, even if he doesn't get the seat at Alpine this year, it doesn't mean it's over for him.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, look at Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh, right.
He was a reserve driver for years, and then he got another shot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to wait, gain some experience.
Be patient.
Exactly. And prove yourself. Maybe another team will give him a chance.
Let's go back to those Pirelli tire tests, though.
Yeah, those are important.
I feel like those could be like a real sign of what Alpine is thinking.
They're super important, especially with the new 2026 regulations coming up.
Right. Those are going to change a lot about the cars.
Big time. New engines, new aerodynamics, the whole thing.
The teams are going to want drivers who can handle the new cars.
Absolutely.
But also give good feedback during the development process.
Oh, for sure. That's crucial.
So if they pick Colapinto for those tests over Doohan...
Yeah, what's that going to tell us?
I think that would be a big sign that they see him as part of their long-term plan.
Yeah, I mean, if they're willing to invest that much in him, give him that experience. Yeah.
When they already have a reserve driver.
So we've got potential driver swaps, we've got marketing strategies, we've got these super important Pirelli tire tests coming up.
It's a lot.
And of course, Flavio Briatore is there in the background, pulling strings.
Oh yeah, we can't forget about Flavio. He always adds a little spice to things.
It's like a real-life F1 thriller unfolding before our eyes.
And we're all just trying to figure out what's going to happen next.
Exactly. But there's one more thing we need to consider.
Okay, what's that?
How is Colapinto's arrival going to affect the pecking order within Alpine?
It's got to shake things up, right? Bringing in a new driver.
Oh, yeah, especially someone like Colapinto. There's already so much hype around him, all that expectation.
Right.
That could definitely change the dynamic within the team.
Yeah. Because we know internal competition is like a huge part of F1.
Well, absolutely. It pushes everyone to be better.
Right.
But it can also cause some friction.
So right now you've got Gasly and Ocon.
Yeah.
Both super talented. They've both proven themselves. They have their own goals. They have their own way of working with a team.
They've got their own little system going on, right?
Yeah, they've reached this sort of equilibrium.
Exactly. And then, boom, you throw Colapinto into the mix.
He's young. He's hungry.
He wants to prove himself.
He wants to take down the established...
Suddenly, the pressure is on for everyone.
You got to perform. You got to score points.
Yeah.
You got to show the team that you're the #1 driver.
It's like adding fuel to the fire,
Yeah.
And sometimes that fire can get out of control.
Right. So Colapinto might be a marketing dream for Alpine.
For sure.
But he could also cause some real tension.
Oh, absolutely. It's a balancing act, Too much competition can be a bad thing.
It can backfire.
Yeah. But on the other hand, healthy competition, that can be good too.
Yeah.
It can push the drivers to be even better, find that extra little bit of speed.
Right. It's like they say, iron sharpens iron.
Exactly. Plus, let's be real here, a little bit of drama is always fun to watch.
Especially in Formula 1.
Oh, for sure. It's part of what makes the sport so exciting.
But we also have to consider the money side of things.
Oh, right. The finances. Yeah, bringing in a new driver is not cheap.
There are contracts, there are sponsorships to figure out.
And then there's the cost of running the car for a whole season.
Right, that adds up fast.
And Alpine, they're a manufacturer team. They need to see results.
So taking a chance on a young driver like Colapinto,
it's a big risk.
They have to be sure it's going to pay off.
Exactly. It's not just about talent, it's about the business side of things.
It's about the team dynamics, the finances.
It's a whole lot to consider.
Alpine has a lot to think about.
They do! But that's what makes this whole situation so interesting.
I know this deep dive has really shown me just how much goes on behind the scenes in F1.
It's wild, right?
It's not just about the racing. It's about strategy. It's about business. It's about passion.
You got it. And in the case of Franco, Colapinto, and Alpine, this is only the beginning.
We've covered a lot today. Colapinto's testing, what it could mean for the driver market, how it could shake things up at Alpine.
It's a lot to digest.
But now we want to hear from you. What do you think? Will Colapinto get that F1 seat this year?
How do you think this is all going to play out?
Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive.
We'll be back soon with another story from the world of F1.